Waalaikumsalam, madam.
Waalaikumsalam, madam.
Sorry, lambat, sorry. Cerita ni panjang. Mesin basuh madam rosak. Aduh Tuhan ku ya Allah, pergilah Mendori mencari kedai kat Kuantan banyak tutup sebab sekarang kami PKPD Kuantan, okay? D dah. So banyak kedai tutup lah, kedai yang tak ada license semua tu tutup, tak dapat permission tutup. Tak boleh beli mesin, tak boleh basuh kain. Laundry berlambak dah, ada 2 bakal. Pusing-pusing lah jumpa satu kedai tu buka laundry. Melaundry lah madam, lambat pun lambat. So, sorry about that. Any question with regard to the previous chapter 6 before I proceed? Ada 2 orang daripada grup lain masuk, mana tak tahu kat mana, siapa lupa. Aku Malis ni and Adiba, ada tak tahu dah. Aku Adiba dah masuk belum? Tak ada ni siapa. Okay, aku malah dapat. Okay, any question? Chapter 6?
No, madam.
No, madam. Okay. Have we discussed chapter 7, leakages and injections? Dah belum?
Dah, madam.
Dah?
Kesian dekat aku dengan Adib Bahman ingat belum lagi leakage dengan injection betul? Dah habis
Dah habis.
So we are done with chapter 7?
Yep.
Okay, so saya kena discuss lagi lah kat depan. Okay, jom go to chapter 8 terus page 131. Adibah dengan siapa dah lupa, aku mah ke siapa tadi? Adibah dah?
Ya, saya.
Okay, Adibah dengan Haziq Amin. Adibah?
Yes, madam.
Okay, so Madam tak boleh discuss leakage injection sebab mereka dah lepas. Madam ingat Madam belum. So you all tu nanti Madam bincang lain hari lah. Okay, boleh?
Boleh, madam.
Boleh, madam.
Okay, so sekarang kita proceed terus chapter 8. Adibah, okay? Chapter 8 terus. Okay, then let's present. Okay, chapter 8 we are going to talk about the business cycle. Okay, business cycle. Business cycle ni apa? As we know, cycle ni dia pergi situ and then it meet again. It mean that ulang balik, isn't it? So this is what it mean in cycle. So when we talk about the business cycle, so we have 4 phases, okay? 1 sini, 2 sini, 3 sini, 4 sini. Lepas tu dia ulang balik satu, okay? So with regard to that, in order for us to discuss the business cycle, the 4 phases, we are analyzing the GDP. GDP kita naik, turun. Okay, this is our GDP kat semua negara pun, okay? So GDP this is years. Kenapa sini pendek? Okay, so this is years, okay? So mungkin 5 tahun pertama macam ni, 5 tahun kedua, 5 tahun ketiga and what not lah. Okay, we talk about years there. So these phases, the first one, you may start with a rising. The rising is called recovery or expansionary. Okay, this is the first. Okay, then we go for the second one. Second one is a peak there. Peak here is called the peak lah. The peak or the maximum there, the point. This one is not the point, this one is a range, okay? Recovery range, peak is point, and then after some time kita akan jatuh. This is the third phase, third stage. This is called tengoklah buku. Okay, ataupun contraction ataupun recession, pernah dengarkan recession, contraction. Sekarang kita kat economy. Okay, apa last sekali? So dari color hijau, biru, merah belum. Okay, so this is the point. We have number 4. This is called apa ni? How to pronounce this one? How to pronounce?
Wow, thank you. Okay, jarang orang boleh buat. Okay, kebanyakan baca true. Okay, this pronounce is trough. Okay, this is how you pronounce it, trough. Okay, let's go one by one. So in the phases, in each phase here, we will discuss what happened in terms of the GDP, what happened in terms of the production process, what happened to the labor, what happened to the income, what happened to the consumption, and then whatnot lah. Okay. So let's go for the recovery. So meaning to say economy is going up. We call it grow. Ingat tak dulu when we have injection more than leakages or leakages more than injection that we are going to have a growth. Siapa ingat? Growth bila? Leakage more injection, injection more than leakages. Tak ingat. Demand increase. Domestic demand for the product increase. Tapi ingat? Apa dia? Leakage more than injection ke injection more than leakage? Tak ingat. It is injection more than leakages. Okay, during this time GDP increase, rise. Okay, when GDP increase, we know that the production increase. The sales of goods and services increase. So producer will produce more and more and more, isn't it? So meaning to say when they want to produce more and more, their profit also increase, isn't it? If they produce more. So they need more labor. When they need more labor, meaning to say, we talk about the employment here. Employment increase, unemployment decrease. So people with more jobs inside the country. Okay? So because we need more production, we need more labor, more jobs created. Okay, so when we have more job created, meaning to say, what about our income? Dulu 2 orang je kerja, sekarang more jobs created, 5 of our family member work, isn't it? So we talk about the household income increase. When household income increase, meaning to say, when you have more income with you, you will consume more. Isn't it, class? When you consume more and more, meaning to say, you demand more good, isn't it? You demand more good. And demand more good, meaning to say, production increase, profit keep increasing, labor increasing, blah, blah, blah. So this one will lead to growth, isn't it? So this is a recovery, expansion. Okay, kita naik. Sampai satu tahap, remember the tire, when it's getting bigger and bigger, what happened one fine day? It will what? What? It will burst or explode here. The explode here is the peak. What does it mean? It means that this is a GDP at maximum. Bila you explode, meaning to say we have inflation here. We have the inflation. Baca peak. Economy produced at the highest level, rising. During this period, economy is close to full employment, reach temporary maximum, firm generate highest business, household pay the highest level of income. So when we have inflation here, meaning to say income for maximum, profit is a maximum, GDP maximum, consumption pun maximum, semua maximum kat sini. Are you with me? Sebab lepas ni kita nak jatuh. Okay? Bila dah kita dah maximum, kita akan meletup inflation. Bila dapat inflation, what happen to economy? Economy will go down. You have to remember that. We are going down bila kita meletup. Nombor 2 ni meletup, inflation. Okay, meletup, inflation. So when we are going down, what happens? Again, you follow the point here, the same point. What happened to the GDP? What happened to the productions? What happened to the labor? What happened to the employment? What happened to the income? What happened to the consumption? What happened to the demand? Okay, you just go about that. Okay, the same point. So let's talk about the GDP. So kita dah meletup tadi kan? So GDP is falling, isn't it? GDP falls. When GDP falls, GDP is gross domestic product, keluaran negara kasar, total production. Meaning to say fall.
So production is actually fall also, isn't it? Production also falls. When production falls, profit for the producer also falls. So if they have less profit, less production, they don't want to hire more labor, isn't it? They fire more labor, meaning to say less labor is needed. Then less labor is needed, employment decline, unemployment will rise. Nampak? Ramai orang tak kerja sebab ekonomi jatuh. So what are we having now? 2021? We are in the recession. Betul ke? I don't know. You take a look at this situation. Betul tak production jatuh? Betul tak GDP jatuh? Betul tak less people are working? You tengok benda tu. Kalau yes, meaning to say contraction. Kalau no, we are recovery. So when we have less labor employed, so less income, less consumption. Because you have less income if you consume less, meaning to say demand fall. When demand fall, production fall. Then dia akan pusing kat situ je. So it's getting worse and worse and worse. Okay? So we are in the recession. But if you go deep down recession, you jatuh sampai bawah, we call it depression. Kalau dia jatuh dan naik balik, it's only recession. Are you with me, class? Okay? 6 months minimum. Okay? In the recessions, for you to call it recession. So, kita akan jatuh. So, bila jatuh, government will do something to correct the situation. Okay? At the end of the chapter, we will discuss fiscal policy or monetary policy. These are the policy, the medicine for the economy. Macam mana kita nak baiki ekonomi kita, okay? Fiscal policy or monetary policy or combination of both regardless. Okay, so we'll discuss later on with regard to that. So bila jatuh, bila kita dapat jumpa corrective point, so we are going up. Daripada jatuh kepada naik, kita akan dapat minimum. That is the trough. Okay, trough is the whereby GDP as the ada minimum point. Profit pun ada minimum point. Production is at the minimum, semua minimum point. Income pun dekat minimum point. The lowest income you receive at the trough there. Any question, class? Ada soalan? Tak ada. Faham semua? Faham?
Faham.
Madam.
So, yeah. Bila kita dapat trough, kita akan dapat recovery balik. Bila recovery balik, kita dah kena peak balik. Bila peak balik, kita dapat recession balik, trough balik. That's why from recovery, we go to peak. From peak, we go to the contraction. From contraction, we go to the trough. From trough, you go back to recovery. Go back to peak. Again, we repeat the thing, the blah, blah, blah. So this is a cycle on and on and on and on. Okay, class? This is a business cycle. 4 phases, kita akan keep repeating these phases. Naik, turun. Longer or shorter je yang the thing is. Mungkin kat sini 4 tahun, mungkin kat sini 2 tahun, mungkin kat sini 1 tahun. I don't know. Mungkin kat sini 10 tahun balik. I don't know. Okay. But we will go over these phases. Clear, class? Question? Ni dia nak buka file dah tak ingat nak ada. Aduh, GDP, is this GDP? Hopefully. Ni nampak tak, kelas?
Nampak.
Apa dia ni? Business cycle ke ni? This is our GDP. Betul lah business cycle. Tapi this is our Malaysian. Tadi just theory. Okay, this is the practical. What happened to Malaysian economy? This is Malaysian GDP throughout from 1970s to prediction to 2020. They predict dulu, tak ada lagi tau 2020. Okay. So, what happened? Can you say? So we are having this one, we call it recovery. And then we are having our peak. What year is this?
And then we are going down, recession, we have our trough. Up sekejap. 2000 peak, jatuh sekejap, turun balik sini. Then we are climbing up here. And then what year is that we are at the peak? What year? Okay, benar kita jatuh balik what year? Apa kita naik balik what year? Okay, I want you to analyze this one. We have any peak, we have the trough, we have peak again. Okay, where is our 2021? We are going down, isn't it? Betul. So, let's discuss this one. What year is this? What year is this? Before we jatuh, peak.
95-96.
95-96. You maybe can take a look at page 133. Okay. Okay, this is betul 95-96. Okay. Because 97 kita jatuh. This is 97, 98. Gitu lah lebih kurang. 97, 98. Are you with me? Okay. Then kita naik balik 2000. This is 2000. This is a recovery. Okay. So this is called what? Is this boom? Is this boom class? Berapa tahun ni? This is 1990. Boleh lah nak cakap boom. Tapi for sure this is a boom. Is a prolonged expansionary. Is it? Expansion. Recovery. Okay, this is boom. Yang ni tak tahu. You kena check betul-betul. Are we booming or not? But most likely macam lah. Macam 10 tahun juga ni. Okay. 9 tahun gitulah. Bolehlah boom. Okay. So, what year ni kita duduk dekat peak ni sebelum kita jatuh balik? What year anybody knows? 2008. Apa berlaku kat sini? Okay, whatsoever lah kita jatuh lepas tu. Okay? 2010 kita reach the minimum trough. R-O-U-G-H. Okay, we are climbing back. We get our maximum back. What year is this? Kita jatuh balik. What year is this? 2014. Kita jatuh. Ni. 2013 kita jatuh. Okay. And then we are climbing back. Okay. This is prediction tau. 2020 ni prediction. Ni 2020. So kita naik, kita reach the maximum itu dalam 2018. Okay. So for 18 kita jatuh, 19, 20, 21 kita jatuh terus. Okay class, this is reality. What happened here in the economy? So apa yang menyebabkan a recession way back 1998, 97? What happened to our country? Page 133, last paragraph. What happened? Well, we talk about the
Asian financial crisis.
yes, Asian financial crisis. What happened here is krisis mata wang. Okay, krisis mata wang, especially bila ada speculations. Okay, it start with the Thai baht. Okay, speculate. Someone is called George Soros. He speculated that Asian financial market will fall. So please, everybody, if you have Asian currency, sell it. Don't keep it. So everybody bila tahu dia speculate macam tu. Siapa George Soros ni? Investor, very rich person, businessman, American. Okay? So dia speculate ekonomi Asian akan jatuh. So semua orang akan jual. Dulu tak jual pun kalau dia tak speculate. So bila orang jual, first of all, yang kena hit the impact is the baht. Okay, baht Thailand. Okay? Attack May 1997 speculation, they attack Thai baht. Okay, baht. Okay, baht. Thai baht. Okay, bila orang attack Thai baht, kita pun dekat Thai kan. Lepas tu kita pula kena Malaysian ringgit pun jatuh. Gedebung-gedebung RM jatuh. Okay, RM jatuh menjunam. Shoot. Bila RM dah jatuh, ekonomi jatuh, that's why we are having the recession here. And then we have a heavy trough. Then we are climbing back, naik. Okay, for your information, 1999 adalah Madam grad degree. Tua kan Madam? Madam grad 1999, you just imagine, kita punyalah semangat keluar dengan degree ekonomi, apply here and then no job. Siapa nak ambil during the trough, during the recession? Siapa nak ambil? Most of the producer or manager are quite reluctant to hire people. Masa tu takut. Tiba-tiba jatuh lagi ke? We never know, isn't it? Okay, that's why lah Madam pun pursue lah PhD, Master Madam. Yeah? Nak kahwin tak ada siapa nak. Dah tak cantik kan? Pasal pun pursue lah Master. So bila Madam keluar dalam 2001, economy is quite okay. See, remember? This is recovery 2000. Madam keluar Master 2001. Okay lah, tiba-tiba pergilah berjalan dekat UIA, gedek. Madam pun, saja dia nak cakap pengalaman Madam masa mula belajar kerja dulu. Masa pergi dekat Department Ekonomi. Yes, kata saya baru grad, nak kerja, ada kerja tak? Dia kata, you degree apa? Saya degree ekonomi. Kami tak ada kekosongan ekonomi, dia cakap. But we have for mathematics. Madam ni, nak kerja punya bahasa, it's okay. I'll study mathematics sebab Madam pun minat matematik. Madam ni hardcore matematik juga dekat sekolah dulu. Madam orang rujuk lah, cewa. Siapa tak faham matematik, rujuk kat Madam je sama-sama sekolah dulu. Sebab kita minat. Okay? So tak apa dia kata, balik study dalam masa sehari dua datang balik untuk interview. Untuk micro teaching. Oh, Madam belajar gila-gila, balik semua dalam matematik Madam. Dan kita dah suka, tak ada masalah lah, not that a big problem lah. Belajar balik gedang-gedang pergi, okay pass, Alhamdulillah. So tapi dia kata part time, saya kata tak apa part time pun as long as I got the job. So duduk dalam masa 6 bulan tiba-tiba mungkinlah tak tahu berkenal kat Madam ke, Madam best ke, wah cewa. Tiba dia kata, Fifa, we are going to recruit a new staff for mathematics, would you like to? Siapa tak nak kan? Yes, for sure, saya kata. Lepas tu proses dia macam biasalah. Jumpa dean, jumpa rektor semua. Alhamdulillah dapatlah kerja Madam. Okay. 2001. Okay. 2001 ni perasan tak ada hiccup sikit. Kenapa kat sini hiccup? Anybody remember? September 11, 2001. Siapa ingat? What happened? Apa dia? World Trade Center tu kat mana sayang? New York have been attack, ingat tak? Dengan World Trade Center dia yang kapal terbang tu yang masuk tu runtuh bangunan tu kan? Okay, attack, okay, has been attack, that's why hiccup sekejap, ekonomi dan naik balik, okay, ni terkejut je lah, ni terkejut. So this is my report duty date. Tak tahu Madam pergi report duty masa tu, tiba-tiba bising satu department tu, gedung-gedung kata apa ni orang nampak cemas semua ni. Bila kita keluar tu baru kita tahu bahawa US kena attack. Okay, naik balik. Okay, we hit the maximum here. 2008, 2007 we are at the max. And then after that, sekali lagi kita jatuh. What happened here class? Anybody knows? Page 134. Second paragraph. What happened there? It's a global financial crisis because of the speculate bubble kat mana? Dekat US housing market. Okay? Housing market yang kena attack tapi bubble. You just imagine what is bubble. Bubble tu dalam ekonomi macam bubble. What is the characteristic of the bubble? You can see it. But if you touch it, what happen? It's gone. Isn't it? Dia macam ada tapi lama-lama dia makin tak ada. Bubble ni tinggi banyak mana pun is still bubble. Dia senang meletup. Pop, 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 pop habis. Isn't it? That is bubble. So financial crisis because we talk about bubble in the Okay. Masa ni pula dia call. Okay, so wait. Okay, so we talk about bubble there. So kita berjatuh. Kenapa bila US jatuh, Malaysia pun jatuh, go down? Why? Kenapa? Anybody knows? Who is US to us? US is our big daddy. Big daddy fall. We are also falling. Okay? Tak boleh sebab big daddy is a business partner. Business trader. Okay? Dia punya ekonomi jatuh, kita pun jatuh. Okay, dia tarik kita sama. Okay? So, jatuhlah kita bersama dia gedung-gedung sampailah dalam, I don't know lah, maybe 2009 ke 1 year. Gitulah. Or 2000. But 2010 kita naik balik. Okay, naik balik. Naik. We reach the peak here. What year is that? 2013. What happened in 2014? Anybody knows? What happened? Why? We have a falling of GDP. The fall of GDP. Siapa tahu? This is history, dear class. History repeats itself. So one fine day benda ni akan berlaku lagi, jatuh lagi. Kenapa jatuh? Siapa tahu what happened in 2014? We have what? What scandal we have? What scandal? We have scandal of what? Come again? Tahu tak apa? 1MDB. Ekonomi kita jatuh. Okay, we have political instability. Okay, political. Sini pun ada ni, actually political sini ni. Political dekat 1997-98. Apa dia? When Dr. M jail or fire Datuk Seri Anwar Datuk Seri Anwar Ibrahim tu Musa. Okay, we have political scandal dekat sini. Okay, ada juga skandal. Sini pun ada skandal. 1MDB jatuh ekonomi. 2014, 15 kita merangkak naik. 18 kita nakak naik, dapatlah maksimum. And then jatuh. Kenapa lepas tu jatuh kelas? What happened here? This is?
COVID-19.
Yes, pandemic of COVID-19. Wah, bila kita nak naik ni? Bila nak naik? Bila nak jumpa terah balik ni? Bila? When we hit trough, we are in a recovery. Okay, it's good for you to go over your country's history with regard to the economy. Tak perlulah cakap pasal Parameswara ke kat sini, memang tak ada. Portugis, Belanda memang tak ada kat sini. This is the reality in terms of economy way back. You just go over through this 1990s until 2021. Okay, tu je. You go for this period, you study in detail, you will fall in love with economic for sure. Jatuh cinta tu dengan economic bila you study this one. You will know what are the recovery action done by the government in order for us to get out from the recession. What are the recovery done by the government to cure the economy? The same thing here. Macam mana? What happened? Okay, I just want to share with you during this time, okay? 1997, 1998 here. One day, since we know that our RM is falling, so one way for the Dr. M to recover the economy is that he pack RM with USD. What do you mean by peg? Peg, P-E-G. Dia ikat. Dia ikat RM kepada USD, diikat. So if USD jatuh, RM jatuh. USD naik, RM naik. Ikat. Biasalah kalau kita ikat bersama. So you are together in term of the RM itself. Untuk ikat ni memerlukan duit juga, tapi we invest those money. So bila kita ikat, USD is quite stable rather than RM. Okay, after some time Big Daddy going up, so pun kita pun going up. Okay, what about the fund from World Bank, monetary fund? Kita terima tak kelas? Kita terima tak duit daripada World Bank? Bila you baca dia punya duit tu, dia punya term and conditions tak best. Yes, kita terima berjuta-juta duit daripada World Bank, but dia punya balas balik tu memang teruk. Dia cakap kat situ kena bayar berapa persen. Okay, biasalah interest. Keduanya, they control our economy. Yang tu tak best. They will do this, they will do that. So meaning to say, they are taking over our economy. That's why Dr. M kat sini, dia tak terima monetary fund from IMF. IMF dulu sangat glamour dekat Malaysia. International Monetary Fund from World Bank. Kita tak terima. Bangkok terima. Indonesia Economic Second terima. Yang paling teruk terima adalah peso, Philippines. Dia terima dan ekonomi dia as if cantik, tapi dia tak boleh bangun sebagaimana kita bangun. Kita bangun dengan sekejap saja, dia tak boleh bangun. Tapi ekonomi dia cure sebab dia terima fund. Tapi fund tu orang lain yang pegang ekonomi dia, yang tu tak best. Okay. So, this is all. Any question? Best tak dengan ekonomi? Minimum bebel. Any question guys? Any questions? Nak tanya apa pasal sejarah? Media suka je topik ni. Tak ada? Tak interested ke? Nak tahu apa lagi? Belum lagi. Okay.
Madam,
Ya.
kan Madam kata ada apa nama dia Jose yang
George Soros.
yang dia
Jose.
buat speculation.
Dia speculate.
So basically dia manipulate market lah kan? Boleh ke macam tu?
Tak, dia ni investor. Dia lah businessman. Let's say lah, kita katalah siapa the most influence people or businessman in this world. Siapa yang you kenal?
Elon Musk.
Apa dia?
Elon Musk.
Je. Benda tak tahu nama dia.
Elon Musk.
M-A-R-S.
MUSK. Elon.
Tesla guy.
Yang buat Tesla tu madam.
Yang buat Tesla. Elon Musk. Okay, let's say Elon Musk ni. Malaysian ke? Tak.
US.
Tak kan?
American.
Okay. Dia kata, dia predict in 2023 African region will fall because pandemic cannot be cured in that region. Dia tu adalah seorang investor, semua orang kenal. So bila dia cakap macam tu, you ada duit, let's say lah, I don't know, UAE. Okay, real UAE. UAE part of the Africa, isn't it? So dia kata ekonomi kat situ akan jatuh. Dia kata alamak, aku banyak rial ni. Ataupun Libya pun rial juga kan? I don't know, I forgot. Or maybe we talk about South African punya dollar. Dollar ke South African? I tak tahu. Okay, maybe. So dollar dia jatuh. So kita banyak dollar kat kita. Bukan dollar US, dollar South African. So kita automatically akan dengar dia punya pendapat. Dia kata ekonomi akan jatuh. So if you have those money with you, those currency with you, sell it. Kita tak ada siapa yang nak tanya kan? So dia lah orang yang terkenal. So kita akan ikut dia punya pendapat. So kita akan jual lah. Macam George Soros tadi. During that time, George Soros is someone. People listen to him. Memang you tak kenal George Soros, Madam pun tak kenal Musk ni. Okay, familiar lah Elon Musk ni. Okay, dia tak kenal sangat. Okay, so kita akan listen to him. Sebab dia boleh affect world's economy with his money. Kita give with his money. Is that clear?
Okay, madam.
Okay. So, no questions? Nak masuk employment? Kalau you tak tanya, boleh masuk je employment, tak ada masalah ni, unemployment ni. Boleh masuk lagi. Okay dah, let's go 136. Haziq dengan Ariba, you punya group tak masuk lagi tau. Unemployment, you nak be in this group tak apa, you nak keluar pun dah tak apa. Sebab lepas ni bila Meda masuk group you dalam hari Khamis, Meda akan pergi dekat unemployment. Kalau nak dengar pun tak apalah, 2 kali dah. Okay? Okay, let's go to the unemployment. What do you mean by unemployment? Don't have job, isn't it? People without job. Okay, before that, let's go over the unemployment bawah chart mana. Kalau kita lukis chart, okay? Okay, let's say these are Malaysian populations. How many of us are there? Malaysian population, berapa orang? How? Tingginya. Last year 32.3. 38. Wow, cepat. Triplet kot semua orang bersalin. Berapa sekarang? I don't know, maybe 33 kot. The latest one. Apa
31.59.
Okay, let it 32 M. Okay, M ke B? M ke B? Billion. Are you sure?
Ada M.
Kalau billion kan kat celah-celah dahan pokok tu penuh lah manusia. Billions. We talk about million, juta. Okay, juta. So we have 32 million people in Malaysia. Population total daripada yang bersalin baru hinggalah yang paling tua. Okay, so we can divide them into 2 category. Not in the labor force and someone in the labor force. Not in the labor force ni siapa? Boleh bagi kepada 2 juga. Okay. In the labor force ni, okay. Define who are in the labor force. In the labor force ni, people who are more than 15 years old, able and willing to work. This will be the condition for you to be in the labor force. If you are less than 50 years old, you'll be here. If you are willing but not able, you'll be here. If you are willing but not able, you'll be here. You are able but not willing, also you'll be here. Are you with me? To be in the labor force, the condition must be that more than 50 years old, able and willing. Okay, because they can be divided into 2. Okay, so let's go for the not in the labor force. So meaning to say, who are these people? Less than 15 years old. Ataupun kita boleh divide kat sini. Willing but not able. Able but not willing. Boleh juga. Okay. Willing but not able to. Siapa? Who are these people? Students, okay. This person we talk about institutionalized. Bila you tengok kat bawah, okay, able not willing, willing not able. Students, student dekat able but not willing. Student kat sini sayang. Okay. Okay. You boleh kerja tapi you tak nak kerja, betul tak? Betul tak? Okay? This is institutionalized. Students institutionalized. Okay? Okay. Willing but not able. OKU. Dia nak kerja sangat tapi dia tak mampu bekerja. So dia tak termasuk dalam labor force. Less than 15 years old. Dia nak kerja sangat tak boleh. Budak darjah 6. Nak kerja. Dia nak kerja sangat tapi dia tak boleh. Not able sebab company dia punya syarikat ataupun kedai ni dia ada dia punya syarat-syarat ni. Umur mestilah melebihi 15 tahun. Dia less than 15, dia tak boleh lah. Okay, dia willing but not able. Tak boleh. That kind of, okay. Senior citizen. You are too old. Macam madam lah, one fine day umur 70 dah. Nak kerja lagi sebab, yelah tak ada duit. Tapi madam mampu lagi madam rasa. You nak, tapi sebenarnya you nak able. Nak bawa tongkat menggigil-gigil. Nak bawa kereta mata dah tak mampu. Okay? Senior citizens. Are you with me, class? So, you are not considered under the labor force. Okay? You under willing but not able. Those who are able, mampu je dia kerja tapi saja dia tak nak. Institutionalized. Students. Armed forces sebab dia tak dikira bekerja dengan kita. Sebab dia masuk dia punya bahagian sendiri. Prisoners. Prisoners ni boleh je semua yang sasa, handsome, badan besar. Tapi not willing to. Tak boleh sebenarnya actually. Able but not willing juga. Okay? Dia masuk ada able but not willing. Sebab dia institutionalized. Dia ditempatkan, penempatan dia kind of. Awak student ni you kan. Okay? Masuk asrama mana boleh? Housewife. Boleh saja housewife nak kerja tapi tak nak kerja sebab some of the housewife they opt to, some of the women they opt to take care of their children. Ada juga kawan-kawan madam master holders, PhD holders tak apalah tak nak kerja. Dapat PhD jaga anak. Ada rasa kesian tak? Dia rasa kesian dekat anak dia lagi. So dia berkorban sebab husband dah kerja. Okey lah. Ada masalah. Ada dapat degree. Tak nak kerja. Husband dah someone. Okey lah, tak ada masalah. Okay? Housewife. Able but not willing to work. Who else? Discouraged worker. Okay? Discouraged worker. Discouraged worker ni, what do you mean by discouraged worker? Discouraged worker ni kat mana dia bagi kat ni? Nantilah lepas ni sampai balik dekat discouraged worker. Sekali dia tak jumpa. Kat mana discouraged worker? Okay. Discouraged worker ni, this person, he graduated, mula-mulanya, he is willing to work, able and willing. Dia cari kerja here and there, submit the resumes here and there, work, waiting for the work, tapi sampai ke sudah. Bulan tak jatuh ke riba. And then dia fed up, give up. Tak nak kerja aku, nak balik duduk kampung dengan mak, senang. This is discouraged worker. Okay? Bila dia dah putuskan tak nak cari kerja balik duduk kampung, dia keluar daripada labor force. Terus not in the labor force. Masa dia mencari, dia duduk sini. Okay, class. So these people kita tak consider sebagai in the labor force. Okay, those who are in the labor force ada dua. Able and willing to work more than 15. Whether you employ or whether you are unemployed. Betul, kita more than 15 years, we are able and willing to work. Kita cari kerja tapi kita tak dapat kerja. Unemployed. Kita cari kerja, kita dapat kerja. Employed. Itu dah sudah. Employed pula terbagi kepada dua. Full time dengan part time. Unemployed ada 3 jenis. Okay? Okay, you cari kerja. You 15 years old, able and willing. Dia cari kerja, dapat kerja. So you employed. So dapat kerja ada dua kategori. Whether you'll be hired full time or you'll be hired part time. Full time yang part time macam madam, student part time. Kerja madam sebagai lecturer, part time sebagai students. Ada orang tu full time sebagai postman, part time sebagai Grab. Boleh. Full time sebagai apa? Full time sebagai technician dekat UIA, misalnya technician. Part time sebagai apa dia? I don't know. Maybe Grab jugalah. Okay, most of the Grab or taxi driver, whoever. Okay, boleh, tak ada masalah. Okay, so hired dah, dapat duit. You cari kerja, you tak dapat kerja because of this reason. So unemployed, dia ada 3 jenis. Frictionally unemployed, structurally unemployed, or cyclically unemployed. Okay, class? Page 136. First of all, how to calculate the unemployment rate? What is Malaysian unemployment rate? Anyone? Malaysian unemployment rate berapa? Come on. 3 to 4%. How to come up with this figure? They say you get this figure. Berapa? 100,000. Lah ramainya tak kerja. Let's say lah, we have 5,000 tak ada kerja kat sini. Okay. We talk about 5,000, cari kerja tak dapat. So, how to calculate the unemployment rate? Unemployment over labor force multiply with 100. Okay, let's say we have here 5,000. Total kita here we have berapa? I don't know, 100,000. Okay, over 100,000. Multiply with 100. Dapatlah Malaysian unemployment rate. Boleh kelas? Okay, orang tak bekerja. Okay. So orang tak bekerja ni ada 3 jenis. Frictionally unemployed, structurally unemployed, or cyclically unemployed. You tak dapat kerja sebab apa? 1, frictional. What do you mean by frictional? Kenapa you tak dapat kerja? Because first, yes, tak ada kekosongan. You cari tak ada kosong masa tu. Okay? That's it. It's common. Or you fresh grad. You keluar degree, you tak kerja. Tak dapat kerja. Fresh grad. Kan orang takut dan ambil fresh grad because lack of experience. Kadang banyak default pula. Kadang banyak error pula kan. So dia orang takut. So you tak dapat kerja. Frictionally unemployed. Fresh grad, hop in, hop off kerja. Macam mana? You daripada job A, you tukar kepada job B. You tak akan dapat straight away kepada job B. You kena tinggal dulu job A, sebelum masuk job B, in 1 month you will be unemployed sebelum dapat kerja baru. You bergaduh dekat kerja A. So you pun keluar kerja A. You resign. You pun apply for job B. Job B kata okay next month masuk. So that 1 month without job, you are frictionally unemployed in between 2 jobs. Okay, class. Okay, kenapa you want nak tukar kerja? There are many reasons why people go for another job. First one, because of the income. You income sekarang 2,000. That job B offer you 4,000. Alamak, macam menarik. So, you will go for a higher income. Isn't it? You change job. Kenapa lagi orang change job? Maybe because of the geographical area. Apa dia geographical area? You orang Kelantan. Habis dekat Gombak, yang duduk kat Kelantan. Are you with me? Offer lesser income, tak apa, tapi dia boleh duduk dengan mak. Duduk dekat rumah mak misalnya. Tak apa. So you change job. You dapat kerja dekat KL. Duduk kerja 5 bulan. Tiba-tiba you dapat tahu dekat rumah dekat Kelantan tu ada offer new job. You resign job dekat KL, you pergi dekat Kelantan. Are you with me? You change job. What else the reason? Maybe because of the environment. People change. You tak suka environment kat dekat pejabat you. Tense. Sangat tense. Bila tense, you tak boleh kerja. Ataupun Suka you punya bos tu teruk sangat perangai dia. Suka maki orang. You tak aman dalam you. You tukar job. Bukan sebab income. Income mungkin murah. Tempat yang baru tu. Okay, because environment yang sekarang tak conducive with you. You rasa nak keluar out from this environment to a new environment. Okay? Ikhlas. So bila you kerja nanti you akan mengalami benda-benda ni tau. Because what you have now, what you are in now is not the reality of life. Reality is outside from the student's life, from campus life. Okay? That is the reality. Kita rasa kita ni orang paling baik, berkawan, semua orang suka kita. Tapi bila kita one fine day kita kerja, ada orang tak suka kita. Walaupun kita baik, walaupun kita senyum, kita belanja orang. Ada juga orang tak suka kita, tak tahu macam mana dah. Rasa dah tak buat orang dah, tapi ada juga. Okay, that's life. Tak kisahlah. It's very hard to please everybody's heart, isn't it? Okay, so you put hop in, hop off job, okay, because of this reason, okay. You are frictionally unemployed. Apa lagi tak? Dia tak tulis. Okay, seasonal. Seasonal ni macam mana? Kerja you bermusim. Apa contoh kerja bermusim? Apa tahu kerja bermusim macam mana? Okay. Apa dia? Siapa tahu kerja bermusim macam mana?
Yang macam cucuk tanam tu madam. Kan?
Cucuk tanam.
Macam kalau tanam jagung kan dia ada musim.
Jagung dia sepanjang tahun kan? Yang tak sepanjang tahun. Okay, let's say you harvest durian. Okay, you adalah pengeluar durian. Bekerja dekat ladang durian. Okay lah, masa musim durian. You ada kerja. Bila tak musim durian nak tunggu apa? Mungkin ada 2-3 orang je pekerja. Other than that, dia akan fire. 2-3 orang tu cek kokok musang masuk ke, kokok babi masuk ke, cek kokok dapat penyakit. Other than that, kita tak perlu ramai orang. So, no need you. So, next bulan depan, tahun depan, bulan 7 balik, baru dapat kerja balik. Are you with me? Seasonal. Bermusim. Okay? Boleh? Betul itu lebih kurang. Okay? Ataupun you ni jenis bergaduh pula anak madam. Okay, that kind of lah seasonal. Also fall under frictionally unemployed. Go for the next one. Structurally unemployed. You tak dapat kerja sebab structural. Apa structural? Structure ada satu sini je. Apa dia? Yes. Mismatch skill. What does it mean? Contoh? Okay, maybe. Mungkin maybe overqualified, maybe underqualified. You keluar with a PhD. Sekarang ramai yang ke peminat hanya degree saja. So, dia takut pula, tak boleh, tak berminat ambil PhD student, tak nak berminat ambil PhD student, that kind of. So, you tak dapat mismatch of skill. Or maybe the other one is that you grad in economics. What is demanded now is law. Or maybe we call it AED. Okay? Architectures. Not the economy. Economy semua orang tak berminat. Mismatch. You tak dapat kerja sebab tak ada siapa nak hire economist. Tak ada siapa nak hire accountant misalnya. Tak ada siapa nak hire degree in business. Are you with me? Mismatch. You tak dapat kerja lah. Sebab demand sekarang je lah, let's say, a computer. Demand sekarang lah mungkin architecture, mungkin doctor. Okay, you tak dapat kerja. Structurally unemployed or because of a mismatch of skill. Boleh kelas? Last kali we have cyclically unemployed. Cyclical, you tak dapat kerja sebab cyclical. Cyclical ni satu benda je sebab yes, sebab recession, economic downturn. Tak ada masalah benda lain you tak ada masalah. Tapi sebab right now, misalnya you grad right now macam Madam Aito 1999, Madam grad. nak kerja tak dapat. Semua orang tak nak ambil kerja sebab economic downturn. So madam tak ada kerja. Madam will be actually cyclically unemployed. Are you with me, class? Tak ada orang nak ambil kerja during the economic downturn. Okay, economic downturn. During the recession. Okay, recession orang tak hire, orang fire. Okay, we are not hiring but we are firing. Okay, that kind of recession. So cyclical. Any question? Ada soalan tak? Share. Okay, tadi madam kata unemployment terbagi kepada tiga. We have frictionally unemployed, structurally and cyclical. Okay, let's say the country said we are at full employment, everybody get the job. Kita boleh percaya ke dia cakap macam tu? Tak, kenapa? Tak, bukan macam tu. Tapi betul lah jawapan. We cannot say that because these two, the first two, this is called natural rate of unemployment. What does it mean? It means that though you are a good country, though your GDP shoot up maximum, increasing, yet you still have people without job because of the frictional. You keluar Grab, terus Grab. Kan? Lepas tu tak ada kerja. This is common. Hop in, hop off job. Common. Kat semua negara benda ni akan ada. Tak akan ada keluar terus 100% orang dapat kerja. Mungkin 50% dapat kerja, another 50% tak dapat kerja. Or maybe 30% tak dapat kerja. Akan ada yang tak dapat kerja because fresh grad. Are you with me? This is called natural rate of unemployment. Mesti berlaku kat mana-mana pun. So that's why you can say, yes, you say we are at full employment. Full employment meaning to say you are still having these two. Are you with me? It's not that full employment means everybody get job. Okay? Because these two jobs you tak boleh erase, you cannot eliminate. Are you with me, class? Faham ke?
Faham, madam.
Okay, sebab page 137. Full employment, bawa go full employment. Full employment rate of unemployment ataupun natural rate of unemployment adalah frictional sebab structural. Walaupun dia full employment tapi masih ada frictional dengan structural. Cyclical aja tak ada. Okay, that is full employment. So you can say you are at full employment not because everybody with job, but still you have the natural rate of unemployment yang biasa saja. Okay, yang biasa-biasa. Semua orang akan berlaku kepada frictional dengan structural. Any questions? Tak ada. Okay, tak ada. Satu lagi kita gilas. Okay, let's say madam kata Malaysian unemployment rate earlier is 3%. Tapi 3% here is considered as understated. Why? This is not reliable. The 3% is understated. Why? Because of the two reasons. Page 137, first two paragraph. The first one is because of the discouraged worker. Number two, because of the part-time worker. What does it mean here? Go back to this one. Okay, earlier, part-time is considered as having a job, employed. Are you with me, class? Sedangkan part-time is a part-time. Let's say dia hanya part-time buat kerja part-time Grab saja. Are you with me? So dia bukannya sepatutnya dia duduk under not in the labour force. Sebab dia part time. Are you with me, class? That's why the status of part time ni, where should we put? Should we put dekat labour force or should we put dekat not in the labour force? Oh, bagi madam suka part time ni duduk dekat unemployed rather than employed. Are you with me, class? Kalau dia kena duduk dekat not in the force, Dino akan terlibat. Sebab kita tahu calculation dia macam ni. Labour force kita terlampau banyak sebab termasuk part time. Ataupun UE ni sikit sangat sebab part time duduk sini. Sepatutnya part time duduk sini. Are you with me? That's why understated UE kita tadi yang kira 5,000 tadi sebab part time tak termasuk. Are you with me, class? That is the first reason why unemployment rate is understated, because of the part-time status. The second one is because of the discouraged worker, class. Discouraged worker awal-awal lagi kita letak bawah not in the labour force. Discouraged worker sepatutnya letak mana, class? Letak dekat sini, maybe sini, I tak tahu, tapi dekat unemployed. Bukan dekat not in the labour force. Dia still lagi under the labour force. So value kat sini ni, figure kat sini increase more, higher up. Okay, tak termasuk ni discouraged worker. Siapa discouraged worker ni? Okay, dia contoh kat situ kan, discouraged worker are those who want to work but have given up searching job after repeated rejection. Cik hati dah, tak nak dah. Okay? So we call it discouraged worker. Discouraged worker dia tolak terus kepada not in the labour force. Sepatutnya tak. Okay, class. Are you with me? Sebab itulah kita punya unemployment rate kat sini understated. Okay, understated. Because of the discouraged worker. Dia fall under not in the labour force. Sepatutnya dia dalam labour force. Part time dia masuk bawah employed. Sepatutnya duduk bawah unemployed. Are you with me, guys? I tak tahu. That's the way it is. So we need to say, kalaulah people say Malaysian unemployment rate is 3%, we need to say only 3% people without job. No lah, people without job dalam 5%. Because of this, because of this. Are you with me? Is that clear, class? So, we are done. Any questions? Oh, ada soalan tanya? Kalau tak ada, dah lah. No. Sure, tak ada soalan. Lapar dah semua kan? 11.30 lah.
Madam,
Yes.
kalau kerjanya cuti panjang tu dia kira sebagai apa?
Kerja cuti panjang macam mana? Example saya.
Contoh macam kan pelantar. Kan biasanya dia kerja lama, lepas tu dia akan ada cuti lama.
Okey, masa cuti tu dapat gaji tak?
Mungkin cuti bergaji.
Kalau dapat kerja lah.
Oh.
Dia panggil shift. Shift, okay? You shift 6 bulan, shift another 6 bulan. So 6 bulan tak ada kerja. Tak bekerja tu dapat gaji tak? Dapat half pay ke? That's the thing. So as far as I concern, siapa yang kerja dekat pelantar minyak, cuti 3 bulan ke 6 bulan, dia kerja juga. Tapi dia kerja, dia panggil apa? On board, off board, apa dia punya word, lupa dah dia. Macam tu lah. Okay, dekat pelantar, offshore dengan onshore. Tak ingat apa yang word dia. Dulu mana ingat benda tu. Okay, dia dapat. Tapi dia kena pergi dekat kilang yang terdekat. Bukan dekat pelantar. Okay, dapat gaji. Bukannya goyang kaki lah. Dia suka bukan goyang gaji. Okay, the same thing with, let's say, nurse. Nurse ni, dia kerja shift. Dia tengok ada kerja 2 hari pagi, 2 hari petang, 2 hari malam, 7 kan? 1 hari cuti. 2 hari pagi, 2 hari petang, 2 hari malam, 1 hari cuti. Cuti ni dikira apa? Cuti lah, dibagi cuti automatik. Dapat gaji. So dikira bekerja walaupun cuti 1 hari. Ada setengah hospital tu seminggu pagi, minggu depan seminggu petang, minggu depan seminggu malam, lepas tu dia bagi off 3 hari ataupun 5 hari cuti automatik. Cuti 5 hari ni dikira bekerja ke tak? Dia dapat gaji sayang. That's why dikira bekerja. So whether or not you want to ask yourself dia bekerja ke tak, dapat gaji ke tak? Okay, kalau dapat gaji on kerja. Okay, boleh?
Boleh.
Any questions? So one Friday nanti nak kerja government ke nak kerja private? Okay, ada setengah orang suka kerja government because you go for the stable income. Ada orang go for the higher income, they go for the private company. Private company dia punya income tinggi. Tapi anytime dia boleh fire you, not stable. Bila company dapat profit sikit, dia akan fire some. Dia akan maintain some. So who never know? Kita ke yang dibuang? So tak stabil. Okay, bila you nak pilih kerja nanti, bila my suggestion is that you tengok dia punya medical benefits. Yang tu yang penting. Bila kita berkeluarga nanti. Kalau single tak ada masalah, kerjalah government ke swasta ke, tak ada masalah. Sebab medical dia sama juga. But once you have your own family, ada wife, ada anak, 5 orang misalnya, 4 orang. Not all the private company cover the family. Dia cover staff and spouse saja. Ada setengah company cover staff saja. Spouse dengan anak bayar sendiri. Medical, ya Allah sayang, very very expensive now. Okay, sebab tu ramai yang kerja kerjaan. Bila ramai yang kerja kerjaan, benda ni covered. Anak, bini semua covered. Okay, macam UIA semi-government. Semi-government ni ada macam kerajaan, ada macam swasta. So sampai dekat medical benefit, dia macam kerajaan. Cover semua, tapi dia guna insurans macam swasta. So insured semua, bayar semua, tak ada masalah. Covered semua. Are you with me? So kalau medium sekarang, kalau anak medium sakit apa, pergi hospital UIA je lah, free. Kalau masuk KBJ tu, boleh under insurance lah. Lainlah sikit kerjaan dia tu. Yang dia bayar lah insurans lain lah. Tapi kalau masuk hospital UIA, FOC cover. Okay? It's because of semi. So my advice, kalau you nak kerja one fine day, tengok medical benefit dia. Income one fine day semua orang akan naik. Slow, cepat, lambat tu je. But medical benefit tu yang very very important. Kita tak tahu kita sakit macam mana. Okay? Kalau cover tu, Alhamdulillah. The same thing, maternity. Kalau dia pergi swasta, kerja dengan Petronas, marvelous. Dia bersalin kat mana? Gleneagles. Dia tak main hospital biasa. Sebenarnya staff Petronas dekat Gleneagles dia punya panel. Okay? Columbia. Top semua. Are you with me? Okay? It's okay. Setengah private company dia tak cover medical untuk maternity. Okay? Bersalin you 4K. 4K bersalin. Normal lah. Kalau tak normal, 10K. 10K bersalin, sekali isteri bersalin. Haris, Adam, Islam. Mana lagi lelaki ni? Nak panggil semua. 10K nowadays. Dekat private hospitals. Okay? So when you take a look at the benefit dah, kalau dia kata cover 50%, okay lah. Kalau dia kata tak cover medical tu, alamak, you kena tanggung semua. Okay? Take a look at the medical benefits. Yang lain tu boleh kita kata apa-apa, boleh kautin lah. Kerja banyak okey lah. Benefit sikit okey lah, boleh lagi lah. Tapi medical tu you kena jaga. Is that okay class? Sister pun, you can go for that. Kita nak jaga anak nanti one fine day, okay? Senang, medical benefit. Other than that, kautin lah, boleh telan, boleh pejam mata. Is that clear?
Yes.
That is my tips for you. Okay. Since you have no question, please go back and try to read the business cycle as well as unemployment. Come back next meeting. We will discuss inflation if you have no question. Otherwise, we will discuss that. Okay, be careful. Remember, Jumaat malam kita ada quiz. Jangan pula, madam lupa, madam tak ada tolong lah kalau lupa. Okay, lupa, I cannot help you. Okay, be careful. Okay, best of luck. See you. Assalamualaikum. Bye.
Thank you, madam.
Madam.
Salah.
Thank you, madam.
Waalaikumsalam. Thank you, madam.